I did a sketchbook in 1 week. Alright, I've at this point done so many takes of this single intro for this video that my iced coffee is no longer iced, it's just coffee. Welcome to a sketchbook tour. Hello, my name's Misha. I'm an artist based in Adelaide, South Australia, and welcome to my 1 week sketchbook tour. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an artist based in Australia. I already mentioned that. I work very streamer full of color textures. I focus a lot more on the process rather than the outcome, so it might be a bit crude and childlike and stuff, but that's how I like it, so I'm here for a good time. Anyway, this is my 1 week sketchbook. So I started this project after I saw a mutual of mine had posted a tour of hers. Her name is Archiu. I'm really sorry that if I didn't say that properly. I'm going to link in the description below her account, like her YouTube account and her Instagram account. Highly recommend you check her out because her stuff is amazing. I love it so much. It's really, really colorful and textured. But anyway, she had posted a video and it really like inspired me. I've been feeling a bit all over the place with my artwork lately, and I've also applied for art school, which I will be vlogging because a lot of people have shown interest in that over on Instagram, which I'm I'm really overwhelmed with the positive feedback I've gotten about it and how interested you guys are in seeing that, so that will definitely be coming. But anyway, I applied for art school and I'm going through a portfolio interview because for those of you who don't know, in Australia you apply for universities and higher education using an ATAR, so that's the score that you got like finishing school or something like that, to like really bring it down to the bare bones of what an ATAR is. And if you aren't applying with an ATAR, which I'm not doing because I'm 25, so I'm well past the ATAR phase, then you need to apply using an interview and you show off your portfolio. And I thought that having like a sketchbook that I completed in a short amount of time would show that I can be really dedicated and like focus on the craft of like creating artwork. Ironically, I thought that forcing myself to finish it in a week would make me a lot more loose and carefree with what goes in it as long as I'm filling the pages, but I found that I was a lot more perfectionist with this one, especially when you compare it to other ones that are the same size, and these maybe take me like 2 weeks to usually finish, so I'm very fast at making artwork because it's very loose and scribbly and I draw a lot from life. I didn't actually write when I finished that, but I started 21st of May. Did I not date it? Why? Alright, so this is the last date I can find, 1st of June. So 21st of May, 1st of June, that's not long, you know? But these are all nice and free and loose, which I thought is what I would do. I like this one. That's a nice one. Which I thought I would do in this 1 week sketchbook, but instead I found that I felt this weird pressure, and coming from no one but myself, to fill every single page and make sure it's filled completely up. I didn't want to skip any pages or anything because in my mind, I guess I felt like that's kind of cheating or something. So yeah, ironically, it's not as carefree as I thought it would be. But I still had a good time with it. I found that it kind of forced me to confront some issues I've been having with my artwork, where I've been drawing a lot from life to the point that I feel like I'm becoming really dependent on having something in front of me to use as a reference, and I'm no longer really drawing from imagination like I used to. And it's making me confront this idea of what I actually want to do with my artwork, like, is just documenting my everyday life enough for me? Because that's something I'm really interested in. That's why I want to get back into doing videos, and I write journal entries and everything, because I want to document my life. But is that enough for me, or do I want to create other artwork like picture books and gallery shows and stuff? So that's something I'm really working on now in the sketchbook I'm working in right now as well. It's a sketchbook that I started when I was a teenager, So it's very, you know, the front of it is very different from what I do now. Anyway, the sketchbook you came for, my 1 week sketchbook. Let's tour you through it. So I start off with just a self-portrait, because it's kind of like a low effort thing. You don't have to think about what to draw. You literally just look in the mirror and draw yourself. I'm really sorry about all my messages I'm getting. So all of the pieces that I do that look like this, I created using these Caran d'Ache wax pastels. They're really creamy. They're similar to oil pastels, but not as dirty. So I like using them in my sketchbooks and stuff. But I mentioned earlier that I'm not sure about if I like how I'm creating my work. I'm kind of struggling right now with how I want to actually draw people and animals that I see in real life. Like, do I want to somehow have it looking a bit more representational of what it really is? Or do I really want to push that looseness and just be carefree and kind of like have the vibe of what it is in real life, if that makes sense? I'm also really sorry if I sound a bit out of breath and stuff. My kids have been sick for a few weeks, and it sounds like now that they're finally getting over it, I'm getting sick. But I really wanted to get this video out, so. This is a sketch of one of my favourite views out in the Adelaide Hills. Alright. So all of these pieces in the next few pages are from a live stream that I join every single Friday morning. It's with Melissa. I don't remember her last name, but I'll also tag her in the description. She hosts these live streams that have reference photos, and there's a timer that you have to draw them within. And I've been really enjoying that. It gives me something to do and like practice every single week. I really like having the community to work with as well. I find that I'm really pushing how I'm experimenting and everything, and it's making it forces me out of my comfort zone, because I'm not really the kind of person that will draw like a lot of birds, probably you can tell, or like trees, which it was 1 week, it was just trees, which I actually had a really surprising amount of fun with. So I think these are all 2-minute ones. I actually prefer the shorter times to the longer ones. The longer ones, I find that because I draw and paint so quickly, because I had to teach myself to do it quickly, because I have 3 kids that I'm a full-time carer of, so I don't have a lot of time. And I'm now so used to being able to put down lines and colors so very fast that, and if it's like 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know what to do. And I end up just like, I feel like I'm over-rendering it at that point. Like, I actually kind of like this 20-second fish more than the 2-minute one. Oh, it's all dirty. Sorry, speaking of kids, one of them actually came in. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, the art hang party. I really enjoy it. I like the community aspect, and I like having things I wouldn't usually draw thrown at me, like getting me out of my comfort zone. I really like how this one turned out. Yeah, I was talking about like how I haven't really been drawing from my imagination, and that's like something I've been writing in my sketchbooks. I haven't drawn from my imagination in a while, and this is like my first imagination piece I did in ages. I actually did one recently. Hold on, I'll grab it. Like a full painting from my imagination, and it felt so good. I don't know why I haven't been doing this, because it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it, and I like how it looks at the end, so why am I not doing it? Question only I can answer, but apparently I don't have the answer. And what does it say? With this sketchbook, I want to experiment, loosen up, and start drawing from my imagination again. Maybe focus on light work and values for a change. I didn't do that. I did not do that with the sketchbook. I sent so many intentions with the sketchbook, and I feel like I did not do them. Like, at the end, this isn't a bad sketchbook by any means. I've got plenty of things in it I like, but I don't think I fulfilled what I really envisioned for it, and I think that's the issue I have. I had set an intention to begin with for it, and I didn't live up to it, and now it's, yeah, you know. Why do I want to create art? To document moments in time. I want intimate memories of my life. Which I think is still true, but I think I want more than just that. Working with pencil rather than colour. I was figuring out what of these crayons I wanted to carry, because I think this is like a 15-piece tin, so I ended up just breaking some of them to carry them around. Because I find that I always break them when I'm using them anyway, so might as well break them preemptively and fit more. This is also something I don't usually do. I don't usually stick pieces in, but I found that I was doing that a lot in the sketchbook because I felt like I can't leave a single page blank, which normally I do. I'll have like a blank page here and there, and that doesn't bother me, but it really bothered me with this sketchbook. Sketch of the boys in the bathtub. This one this one I did with tracing paper, and I just put it over my phone, like over a photo, and I tried to quickly do the line work with like this lining pen, which is a super chunky one, and every time I drew it, like the screen would move around a little bit, so I ended up with very like, this is not what my kids look like, but it was fun. I like looking back on it. This is another view from the Adelaide Hills. This is actually from a winery. I went to a winery with my mum for her birthday, and I sketched a little bit while I was there. Not much, because, you know, it's a birthday celebration, so I need to actually focus on the person I've gone to the birthday with. Can you actually see with how wide it is? As long as I have it down in the shadow, you can. Okay. Same view. That's my mum. That's a view of the winery from across the road. Alright. I think this was that same night. Yeah, this is my youngest. He was doing something. And I had calculated it, but if I wanted to comfortably do this within 7 days, I had to do 6 spreads a day. And I was obviously not doing that because this is from Thursday and this is Sunday. I've not done a lot. So another one. I feel like I haven't used just colored pencils on toned paper for a long time, and that's something I used to really, really enjoy. Oh, Monday 5th of June, applying for uni today. I'm still waiting to get an email about when I'm doing the interview process, but once I get the email, I'm going to walk you guys through me like setting up my portfolio that I'll be handing in. This is a list that my eldest wrote. So he's 6 and he's very, very much into that phonic phase of spelling. So green is written like bean. Apples actually has the 2 P's though, but then bread also has 2 T's. This one says digestives or biscuit. Coffee. Yogurts, and then it's finished. Now this is done from photos that I took on the day that I went to the winery. Oh, right. So this day I was doing a lot of like experimenting of how I want to lay down color and stuff because I've been feeling a bit meh about it. I feel like I have had a formula for a while that I just follow of like, I do mostly red, pink and blue, and I know where those pinks and blues are going. So in a way, everything looks very uniform and I'm not really experimenting or like pushing myself anymore. I just shut my brain off and I don't really want that. I want it to be like an active process that I'm really taking part in, and I don't want to overthink it, but I do want to actually be doing something and not just, you know, going through the motions of it. So here I was doing like a different type of layering with watercolors, here with the pastels. Took a little break. I tried drawing my pet rabbits, left hand, line contours. Every now and then because I want to have like as little control over my pencil and lines as possible. So every now and then I have to like really change how I hold my pencil, because after a while of holding it weirdly, I find that I'm like too adept at it. So I need to change it up every now and then to really get the like nice scribbly lines that I like. I like this one. I like this piece I like. I like how carefree this sketch is. I still feel that way. Whereas this one, I was trying to recreate that and I just couldn't. This one, oh, my son got his camera. It's got like an old Instax that we got off of eBay. I think it was like $10 or something. It's drawing outside. Oh, here I tried to, so I was drawing somewhat from life with like the foliage and stuff, but then I added some imaginary details into it, and I think this is how I want to work from now on. I want to look at scenes and turn them into like fantasy imaginary ones. Don't know much to say about those ones. I don't like this page, like at all. These are sketches I did of an exhibition opening I went to. So these, it was like 2 canvas pieces. One said, ah, one said, oh, or maybe, ooh. Anyway, regardless, it was just these letters over and over and over again. And they were like embroidered, but it was embroidered in a way that it looked like children's handwriting. And I liked it so much. I'm really bummed that the piece wasn't for sale or anything. Because it's definitely like something I would have wanted to buy and hang up. And the artist was Amber Cronin, which is a local South Australian artist. Oh, so here I was sketching from Polaroids that I took that day. I've been really into Polaroid photography again. This one's nice, I like this one. See, here I'm leaving the blank pages and they don't bother me, so I don't know why when I was making the sketchbook itself, it really bothered me when I had a blank page. This one's good. I like the contrast around the figure. Yeah, I feel like my artwork is becoming more graphic than painterly. I'd like to take a step back and just have fun again, which is definitely what I feel like. I feel like it's definitely looking more cartoony than painterly, which like I have nothing against cartoony artwork, but it's not what I want for myself personally, and I need to, you know, really try to be a bit more haphazard with my lines again. Don't know how I feel about the sketchbook, to be honest. I want to document my life, but what else? What do I want my art to say? This is still something I'm having issues with. I still don't know the answer to this, and I think it's something I just need to like really push through. Become reliant on copying from life. I still feel that. And not only do I feel like I'm reliant on copying from life, I'm trying to really make it look like it looks like in real life. Not realism. Like, not realism by any means. But I'm trying to get the proportions right and the features right and everything, which is not something I want to care about. I want to care about, like, the feeling and atmosphere of the moment. So I really do think I need to take a step back and, like, force myself to create differently for a while. Oh, this was my son's 4th birthday. Was working with my character from my picture book, which, yeah, I need to focus on my picture book. I do really need to. I haven't worked on it in ages. I actually, hold on, let me go grab it. I actually have a book dedicated to, like, working out details on my picture book. It's not very full, but it's coming along. I just need to get it ready to, like, actually hand out to publishers. This is a very quick sketch to like a tiny little detail of a massive, like I think it's 6 meters or something. A 6 meter painting that's in the art gallery at the moment, like Art Gallery South Australia. The artist is Abdullah, and the painting name is Legacy Assets, and it's all about what would our public collection look like if we divested it of sex pests and pedophiles. It's an oil painting. like a gorgeous oil painting with that text on it, like just in bright white paint, really graphic, obscuring the painting below. And I think it's a really, really powerful artwork, because the like painting is so delicate and the technical skill really is there, and then the paint, like the text on top, is so graphic and just like screaming for your attention. You can't ignore it, which is like, I feel like what he's trying to say, like you shouldn't be able to ignore all the pedophiles and stuff in artwork, but we still do, because the painting that they create is very pretty. I thought it was a really good piece. I actually, to enter the art school, you have to write an essay on a current living artist exhibition, and that's the painting I did an essay on. Okay, so I actually went one day over the week, which I'm still counting it as like a 1 week sketchbook, because I had my son's birthday happen and my mum's birthday happen, so it was like very tricky. I don't know why I chose this week of all weeks to do it. So I gave myself lenience, and I don't really care that I went one day over, but this is another art hang party. They happen every Friday, like I said. We were doing, I think, flowers, which I don't usually pay much attention to. Feeling pressure to draw more detailed than I like. Yeah, and that pressure is coming entirely from me, and I don't know why. So then I forced myself to just draw this, like, I think I was holding the pencil like this, so I could not get more details, and I like this so much more than this. I also really like these bugs. I think I prefer the quick impressions. Yeah, so these were like 10-second ones, because it was also a 5-minute day, and I found that was too much time to draw as loosely as I like, because then I feel like I need to fill the time somehow. What do I have? And then I just went to ink, because ink is such a, like, it's a material that's really, really hard to control if you use a lot of it. And I was using just like hog bristle brushes, which are not made for it at all. And I think this one, which is like the loosest and messiest one by far, is from my favorite one. All right. So how did the challenge go? Not great. I thought the time crunch would force me to be loose and carefree, but instead I felt pressure for it to be curated and have every page filled. I'd like to try this challenge again and not document it on social media. That was the other thing. I was taking photos of this throughout to showcase on my stories, and I think that was part of the issue, but also the fact that I'm now doing this video about it. So I think the pressure I had in me all the time is like, oh, well, it needs to look nice to flip through on YouTube and stuff. Which shouldn't be what I care mostly about, you know? But, you know, I have mixed feelings. I think I would recommend doing this to people, but make sure to choose like a short sketchbook with, I would say, not nice paper. This is a Moleskine Cahier. They have, how many pages? I think it's 40 sheets, so it's not long at all. It's like definitely a very doable amount, especially if you don't force yourself to do every single side of the page. And because the paper is so thin, it's strong enough to handle different mediums, but it's thin enough for you to not be like, oh, I need to do an amazing artwork on every page. I would recommend it. It will really force you to confront some of the habits you have while creating and like the thought process you have. But be prepared to not like it, I would say, because I like the sketchbook on one hand, and I did have a good time, but overall this project, I don't like it, and I'm dissatisfied, and I'll probably do it again. Yeah, sorry for ending on like a negative note. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm really sorry about how nasally my voice is and the fact that I've been like sniffling throughout. I felt fine this morning, that's why I'm recording it, but whatever. Is what it is. I will be posting more of those vlogs as I mentioned, so I hope you guys tune in. I will be taking you through like the whole process of setting up my portfolio, going to the interview, and also like the classes I do and stuff. I don't think I'll be able to get many shots of like inside the class, because I mean you can't, you know. You can't really do that, but definitely I'll show what I did at the end of every week and like the homework I have. Some of the campus I'll show as well, and I'll explain how Australian universities work. because the art school I'm going to, sorry, I feel far out, really nasally, really out of breath. Because Australian universities are very different from like American art schools and stuff, and I think most art school content you see is from America, so I think that'd be interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you guys next time.